been going from one football team to another over the last few days, and we're going to continue this until we've hit all 32 teams, including the Denver Broncos. Today, we're going to talk about the New York Giants with Ebenezer Samuel. He is the beat writer, the Giants beat writer for the New York Daily News. Ebenezer, welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
Great.
Well, it's bad enough I have to deal with Frank Izzello, and now I got to deal with you now.
Ebenezer, tell me about the Jason Pierre-Paul situation. Where does that stand right now?
It kind of stands in the, and I will try to do my best non-Frank Izzello impression here, but it kind of stands in the middle of nowhere right now. The Giants really haven't heard too much from this guy. They don't know when he's showing up to camp, if he's showing up to camp at this point. But it does seem like he's kind of rehab and do his own thing in Miami until he's ready. And so, you know, they're going to have to kind of prepare for things without him right now.
How does that change the New York Giants defense if you don't have that great pass rusher there? Have they picked up enough talent to make up for his possible absence?
I'm not sure they've picked up enough talent. Definitely not on the defensive line. When you look at them, they got bodies and they have guys who can kind of play and who are experienced. But he was their lone, really transcendent pass rusher, and they don't. The other guys they have, George Selvey, kind of more of a run stopper. Robert Ayers has kind of never really been a full time. I think you guys are probably more familiar with Robert Ayers than I am. You know,
a little too familiar.
You know, it seems like he has some talent, but it doesn't. You know, he was. I don't know if he can really be a full-time guy for them, especially the way he kind of played the run last year. DeMontre Moore is the guy that I think everybody is hoping kind of takes that leap forward. They thought he was a sleeper a couple of years ago, and he could be that second defensive end to work with Pierre-Paul. But he has talent. He just hasn't shown any consistency, and he's prone to kind of brain cramps in very bad times of the game. So I think defensively they're going to have to, you know, maybe play a little different style and maybe rely a little more on they have two very good corners in Rogers Cromartie, I guess another guy you guys know a little bit, yeah. and then Prince Amukamara. But even there too, then in the back end of their defense you have the safety question. So I think they're going to miss Jason Pierre-Paul if he doesn't play, and they could be in some trouble there.
Yeah, Ebenezer, you just kind of went through a group of the players that are going to be important to them. I find it so interesting that Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, what's going on with the Patriots, the Jets and their coaching change, that Tom Coughlin's still there. The Giants are just kind of about the only talk we've heard lately is the possible extension of Eli Manning. Do you feel like it's all, I mean, and the JPP thing, but otherwise the Giants are just kind of floating by and nobody's really paying attention to them. Is that fair? I mean, does that mean that that's good for the Giants, or that the Giants have just become irrelevant?
I don't think this could actually be a good thing for them, because I remember going back to 2011, the Super Bowl season for them. It was kind of the same. It was kind of the same vibe around the team. Like going into the season, I remember Jerry Reese that year kind of talked a lot about you know, I think he gave them a crazy vote of confidence for the Super Bowl that pretty much got him made fun of a lot early in the year, especially when they struggled, and they wound up winning the Super Bowl. They just had, you know, they've just been really quiet this offseason, and they're banking on a lot of the guys who got hurt last year when they lost Victor Cruz and they lost John Beason, and they lost Rashad Jennings for a period. They're banking on being a better team because of that. I kind of see them. I kind of see them. They're going to rely on really executing and just out executing teams, and they're going to have to play perfect football. But that's kind of what Tom Coughlin, when he's at his best, that's what he gets this team to do.
Ebenezer Samuel writes about the Giants for the New York Daily News, brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Yeah, I just mentioned Eli Manning, and I must tell you, Ebenezer, and I thought it was a brilliant statement by him that Les had a feeling a few months ago that the replacement for Peyton Manning in Denver should be his younger brother. But his younger brother, I understand, has got a new home in New Jersey, is really talking about an extension there.
They'll take him off the market.
He's gone a new direction with those direct TV ads that makes him look like Charlie Sheen or something like that. What do you what do you expect out of Eli, because he's been down for a while now?
Yeah, he had a couple of bad seasons there. Kind of bounced back a little bit last year, and I mean, a lot of us kind of wondered, how's this guy who's thrown the deep ball and kind of been in the vertical game for pretty much his entire career with the Giants going to transition to the West Coast? But it seemed like he was really comfortable in the West Coast offense. It seemed like just that entire offense overall kind of improved as the season got on. And I mean, that Odell Beckham guy helps a good bit, but I'm kind of expecting him to have another good season. Like, this is his second year in Ben McAdoo's offense, his second year working with Odell Beckham. In theory, Beckham will take a step forward a little bit, which is crazy to think about. They could get Cruz. They could get Victor Cruz. It's hard to know what to expect there in terms of what he can do, but I think Eli has a lot of weapons. It wouldn't surprise me or shock me to see him have a really, really big year.
Yeah, well, Ebenezer,
yeah,
you know, the Giants, well, you know as well as anybody, the Giants do play a conservative brand of ball at times. Coughlin likes to run the ball. Can you run the ball with Rashad Jennings and Andre Williams, and you got Shane Vereen now over there, right?
Yeah, and Shane Vereen is kind of the interesting piece there, because you can't really count on Rashad Jennings to stay healthy. Andre Williams, to me, he's kind of like a plugger back, not really an imaginative kind of guy, you know, not really a creative presence. He's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But Vereen, and that's another reason I think Eli could have a big year, because when they go out and they get that pass catching running back, and throughout the spring too, they would move Vereen around a little bit. Like, you see him split wide here and there, and then maybe motion into the backfield. And I think they're going to do some interesting things there. And that's what I mean. You surrounded Eli with quite a few decent pass catching weapons, and I think they'll be conservative. But when you have a weapon like Odell Beckham and you have a Vereen, I think maybe we might see them be a little more creative and a little more wide open in the pass.
Ebenezer, you're good. We appreciate you spending time with us. Not in addition to your writing, how can people find you on Twitter? The NewYorkDailyNews.com, I assume, and you're better than Frank, by the way.
See, that was going to be my last question. So, and I will make sure to let him know that I'm at Ebenezer Samuel, so just my full name, nice and easy. And I have a Facebook page that people can jump on if they want to.
We hope you'll join us again. We'll catch up on Robert Ayers, because we're still trying to catch up on whether he's ever going to become a player in this league. So,
thanks, Ebenezer.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Ebenezer Samuel.